I would like the dealership to be perceived as one that takes care of its customers. More of understanding the customer needs. A lot of dealerships work based on their needs. If dealership needs to sell so many cars, everything goes toward that goal. No matter how you get there, we got to sell those so many cars. We don't have such a goal. We don't have a specific number of cars that we need to sell. We just want to make sure that all the customers that come here, that they listen, that our salespeople listen to them, that they understand their needs, and they cater to those needs. I don't see that this is any different from somebody coming to your house. If somebody comes to your home and rings your doorbell and you open the door, you're not going to let them just hang there for 3 minutes and just kind of wondering where they can sit, where they can stand, or what they can do. People have never been here. You have to greet them, you have to say hi, you have to make them feel comfortable, and after that, you need to start listening to whatever their needs may be. There is no secret. As a matter of fact, if you would come to a sales meeting with my managers, and that's the only one I hold anymore because my managers talk to the salespeople, but what I try to do is I try to bring to them that understanding of our culture. Right, what I'm telling managers is they need to educate themselves and educate the salespeople to take care of a customer, not from a perspective of what is a need of that salesperson at that moment and whether he is hungry today and needs to sell a car, but look at every customer absolutely objectively and just talk to them. Well, actually listen first, then talk to them, find out what their real needs are. And then when you know where those needs are, then you can probably figure out how to put our needs together with theirs, how to get them the car they want, how to get them the payment they want, how to get them whatever it is they need. And that culture that lived in this business for many, many years, that basically puts a dealer needs first in front of a customer's needs, that is a bad culture that should no longer be anywhere. The biggest change is dealers' behavior, in my opinion. And of course, you know, when I was growing up in the business back in 70s and 80s, I don't know if you call it customer abuse, but you probably can call it an abuse because nobody cared about what customer thought, how they felt. It was kind of like buy or die, and then who cares? In the last 15 years, it changed drastically and tremendously. And of course, internet, which probably somewhat responsible for that, brought that wide education and ability of people to shop at home instead of going someplace. And yeah, internet and dealers' behavior are probably two biggest things that changed the car business in the last 15, let's say, years. You know, customer stories are there's so many of them that I can't even think of one right this second, but I keep all the complimentary and not so complimentary letters, and I'm glad to tell you that the file of complimentary letters is about 10 times thicker than one that's not so complimentary, and there is nothing gives me more pleasure than to write these people back and say thank you for their nice words. But you know, there's a lot, almost every day we have a customer that comes and say, you know, thank you very much for doing this, for taking care of my daughter, for taking care of my son, for taking care of me, whatever that may be. And that is probably the most important thing that drives a morale. Of course, there's a money consideration and profits consideration and all that, but when somebody truly thankful and say, you know what, I really appreciate you doing this for me. I mean, you went over and above what we expect of you. That's probably the biggest thing. Absolutely. I've been doing it for 30 years this year. And I can tell you that I've seen this situation that it is now happening consistently, not consistently, but 3 times in the last 30 years. It's just about every 10 years. It's kind of ups and downs, and it's peaks and valleys. And car business always thrived and survived, and always came out stronger and bigger and more consumer friendly, which is a good thing. And I believe that all this is very temporary. And I cannot even say that it's a bad time right now. What I see is just a shifting of buying patterns, of production patterns, because of course manufacturers have to produce what's in demand. Rarely happens that we cannot make somebody reasonably satisfied. Happy is a big word, but we try to make people happy if we can. And if we can, we'll go for the second best, which is reasonably satisfied.